we're going to move into our next segment. Who is a rookie that we're surprised isn't getting more minutes? And Jake, I'm going to start off by asking you, because I know we had some discussion before.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ochai Agbaji for now the Utah Jazz, formerly the Cleveland Cavaliers. I really just thought, I know he's starting to get a little bit more minutes now. I know he got his first bucket, I think this past weekend, but he was really good, obviously, in college by his senior year. One of the best players in the entire country. He was averaging 20 points a game for Kansas. And I really thought that would transfer over very quickly. I thought he was the most NBA-ready prospect in the draft, other than maybe Paulo Banchero. But for the Utah Jazz team that we came into the season expecting to tank, how are you not playing this young player who has potential to be that 3-and-D wing in the future? But I'm glad he's finally starting to get a couple, minutes off the bench.
Yeah, and that's definitely got to be a shock for a player like him as well. I know he's probably, better at keeping his composure, because he's just had to deal with that at KU. But when you're drafted to a position like the Cavs, where he initially was, he was expected to come in and immediately be a big help. And like you said, one of his biggest upsides was how much of an NBA-ready player that he was. And then you go to the Utah Jazz and they don't even play you your first week in the league. That's just got to be a bit of a culture shock. And honestly, for the Jazz, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't play him earlier, like you said, just because if you're trying to tank, you just play your younger players. So not only you can get into better positioning, but you can also develop your younger guys so that when you do get that pick you want, you have something to work with.
I also think he's probably going through a lot right now mentally, because when he was drafted to Cleveland, it was pretty obvious they liked him a lot, because you look at his summer league stuff and he was chucking up 6 to 8 threes a game in the summer league. They wanted him to adjust very quickly and get on the court. Mm-hmm. And now, they were probably gassing him up all summer long, hey, you're going to be a big feature in our offense going forward. And now he gets traded to the Jazz, and they're kind of just setting him to the side. So it's probably really tough for him. So I hope he figures it out.
Yeah. But another player I want to talk about, I'm not even really surprised about this. It's just I was kind of hoping that we'd be seeing at least some minutes from this guy, but Johnny Davis. Because this was a guy, I know on this pod specifically, we've been kind of curious just to see how he was going to look at the next level.
Be honest, we were a little harsh.
I'm not going to lie, yeah. But I think the thing with me is, it was just I didn't even mind the inconsistencies in his game. It was just his play style, because he's primarily a mid-range player. And obviously in the NBA, that's a part of the game that's just started to phase out. And from Davis, we've seen a little bit in preseason, and from the small sample size, I guess it wasn't good. But I was hoping we'd at least be seeing a little more. And it's just kind of concerning that, his rookie year, it's clear that he's struggling. And I was hoping, honestly, he was a guy we harped on, but I really wanted to see him turn things around. So this is just...
I will say one thing about Johnny Davis, and it's fine that he's been struggling. That's definitely true. But you look at some of the higher level rookies so far to start the 2022 season, like Paulo Banchero and another guy playing in Indiana right now that we're going to get into in a bit. It definitely makes his struggles a lot more jarring and visible on screen than maybe some other classes in the past, where it's still pretty evened out in these early games of the season. You've got guys who are freshmen and maybe sophomores coming into the league who are already looking like one of the best players on their team. And then, Johnny Davis maybe being a more commonly seen rookie who struggles early on. It's very jarring to watch.
Yeah. Like you said, it doesn't help that you have Paulo Banchero in your class, who it looks like is just about to have a historical rookie season. Yeah. So, but I will also say, one thing I'm trying to tell myself about him is that I remember you and me both said on the pod that he's probably not going to be somebody who's ready immediately. It's probably going to take some time for him. And I hope the Wizards take the steps to get him to a point where he can maximize his full potential, because we may talk bad about him, but I really do want him to reach his full potential. So.
And to even go along with that on the podcast, we're a very, and I've noticed, very optimistic about pretty much all of the players we talk about. So when we're concerned about a guy, I think it's a little bit more meaningful. But then again, we got to see him play more than anyone else out of the picks because we go to a Big Ten school, so we got to see him in person and whatnot.
Yeah.
And when he came to play with us or to play against us in person, I guess he just really didn't even see the ball.
Yeah, that game, it was just, I don't even know. Like, it just seemed like it just didn't feel like he was even playing, you know. But